Hello, 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 everyone. It is your old pal Brainy here once again with another installment of Extreme Toonsday. Just like Toonsdays on other channels, but extreme. We try to take this 8-hour stream and cram as much animated content as we possibly can. And, well, we're starting out with something that is a little bit of an experiment. We're going to be using the 3D SEN emulator, which is an emulator that takes information from NES ROMs and then turns it into a 3D image for playthrough, and we're going to use that to play Tiny Toon Adventures. So that's pretty special, is that I'm quite frequently, try to find a way in order to include this into my stream because I think it's a cool piece of software, but a lot of people, I guess they get nervous, mostly because when it comes to emulation at large. But I think when it comes to something as creative as this, you should, take a look at it, just to see what the differences are, so that could potentially find itself in the way of game programming at large. That's just what my viewpoint is when it comes to that. Okay, so yeah, we're going to be playing that, and also at some point we're going to go switch over to SpongeBob SquarePants: The Cosmic Shake, and finally we're going to play Toontown Online with my buddy QB. So we're just going to continue doing some Toon quests all around the Toon landscape. And, well, yeah, that's going to be the whole playthrough. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to run an ad right now. After the 2-minute ad from Twitch, we're going to go ahead and are doing our introductions. And then we're going to start playing a little bit of Tiny Toon Adventures on the 3D SEN. So thank you, everybody, for staying tuned in. We'll be right back. Okay, bonus cartoon talk time. I, of course, was a really big fan of Tiny Toon Adventures. I remember the very first time I saw it, there was a news report on it from Entertainment Tonight, and so just back in the 1980s, there was always at least a few. How should I put it? There was more than a handful of cartoons that are just based on existing animated properties, but turned down to kids' size, which was a trend I believe was started with Muppet Babies. Well, also I know that there was or some earlier cartoons like that, like Pink Panther and Pals, Popeye and Son. But it was a big trend throughout the 80s. Just make younger kids versions of existing animated characters. So, Tiny Toons was something that got into the racket, but, they did take the time in order to try to give it as much mass appeal as they possibly could. So they got probably the best animators, some people who worked previously with Ralph Bakshi on The New Adventures of Mighty Mouse. They really did, make something that actually stood toe-to-toe with the original Warner Brothers animated shorts, They recently tried to do a reboot of it, but it couldn't have possibly been as good because they didn't take that time, and they perhaps more than likely didn't even have that budget. But, Tiny Toon's always a special place for me, as that I think a lot of the shorts still hold up. They're some of the funniest cartoons I think might have come out of the 1990s. And, well, that's all I gotta say about that. So, we're gonna go ahead and we're going to get right into it. Let's do our intros, and then let's go ahead and start playing us some Tiny Toons.
This fearless caddis is the raddest, has skills of the baddest, magic, swinging no status, practically unmatched, runs all of the gamut, in fact, he's a reference games and chatting, bent wizardly hatting, questing, stacking, napping, this cat witty banter, seeking kitty answers, roll 20 to scamper, tune in, and enjoy the ride. Brady, the RPG cat. Brady, the RPG cat.
Hello, cats and kittens, felines and felidae, humans and variant humans, and every race, class, and subclass. Welcome to another episode of Brainy the RPG Cat. We are going to be playing Tiny Toon Adventures on the 3D SEN engine at the moment. But first of all, I just would like to take a moment to reflect. It's another beautiful day here on the Purple site. As I can see, there's a lot of my friends that are streaming right now. Is that Ulner? Well, not necessarily one of my friends, but one of my favorite streamers. But some people who are a little bit closer to me. Mercury Yaden is a local pro wrestler who also streams, and also simultaneously we have his Rocky Mountain Pro Wrestling cast. Is that the pro wrestling cast is based on the local show that he runs here in Colorado. Hold on just a second.
Not bad. $155 for the night. Hold up. How? It's easy when you know where to look.
Trivago compares hotel prices from hundreds of sites, so you can save up to 40%.
Trivago's my secret tactic.
Hotel Trivago.
Okay, sorry about that interruption. Okay, well, we also have Being Goblin, really great Goblin streamer from the UK. They're only just getting on and they're running a stream too, but I can't really think about that right now because I'm going to have to do my own stream. Okay, so the 3D SEN engine, as I said in the intro, this is an engine where people mod NES games in order to have pseudo 3D graphics that are just kind of built out of the code that already exists in the NES game. And we're going to be using it to play Tiny Toon Adventures. And so let's go ahead and let's open that up here. All right. So looks like the way that it always did, but then I can go ahead and I can tilt it in this direction. Just kind of move these back and forth, and then you can see some of the 3D elements begin to pop out here. Alright, so, this is a game that I used to play a lot on the NES. A lot of people, give it a direct comparison to Super Mario Bros. 3, because it's more than likely as these licensed games are trying to get as close as possible to the popular games of the time, especially the ones that were geared towards kids. So, go ahead and press start here. Okay, so here you get to choose the secondary player that you're going to have. You have a choice between Plucky, Dizzy, and Furball. And people have a tendency to believe that Furball is the only one who has any kind of value in the game because he has the ability to climb walls. There are one or two levels that are a little bit better when it comes to recommendations. That it's better to use Plucky or dizzy. Plucky in particular makes it a lot easier to swim. So I'm gonna go ahead and choose Furball for the very first stage because there's no preferences going on here. And Shirley also always gives her recommendations about who you should add. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm going to do like a very 3D tilt of this whole game. I don't need to see much of the hub. The only thing I really need to see is whether or not I have an extra life. So I can put it like approximately about here. Still seems a little bit tilted. All right.
She should get mad at you about it, so she should slap you in the face, not me.
You know, there's a tendency in order to make the overall game scene a bit too high when you're playing this, which is something that I do want to avoid. And unfortunately, you can't pan either. You're just rather stuck with the image that's centered in the way that it is. You know, slight. You know, I'd need to go and check to see if I can letterbox the sides of the screen because that would make it look a lot better. Right now, I'm just kind of seeing the whole of the background color that is provided by the NES, and it's kind of seeping over into the sides right there. But like I said, you know, we're just here for the novelty of the 3D effect. So you have 4 characters to play. They all have special abilities, but then you can switch back to Buster, and Buster is useful because he's the fastest running and the highest jumping character. So when it comes to this game, you have to, you know, kind of hedge your bets, try to figure out specifically what, whether or not you want to use the power-up in order to turn back to Buster or stay as a character that you currently are. So this is Furball's special ability. He just has the ability to jump up walls like that. Like a cat. And, as I recall, you know, Furball, a character that's supposed to be modeled after Sylvester of the original Looney Tunes, but also very much his own character, is he basically treated like a mangy alley cat who is always down on his luck. And also did not have a real voice, was just voiced in cat meows by voice actor Frank Welker. So something's funny going on here is that, you know, that little black background that the Hampton bonus room was in has still stayed in the background. So that's a little bit funny, you know. They said that this was working, they didn't say it was going to be completely foolproof. Alright.
Not really. I got some similar problem. You gotta get one of those,
there we go.
like, what are they called? Loofahs on the handle, so you can...
So some of these exit doors look a little bit funny because I'm using the 3D effect, so the 3D effect is panning the door slightly away from where it would be if it were on the background.
Hey, solid.
Alright. There we go. It's gonna make, you know, hitting the exit door a little bit funny in some areas. And in these old NES games, you do need that pixel perfect entryway. Okay. So we're in the first, I think, the first final stage, first boss stage too. I think I'm gonna switch back to Buster here because I'm going to need the high jumps. So this level could be beaten with any sidekick. It's just a little bit better to use Buster so that the platforming is a little bit tighter. Alright. Gotta be careful here. I just lost my extra hit. Okay, time watch. Konami and its inextricable ability to add time stoppers to video games. Okay. There we go. That's what I needed. An extra heart. Alright. Ooh, there's some traps there. Just a little spike ball trap that I don't want to hit just like that. Okay. So from here on, I'm probably going to start doing save states. I think save states are select and down. All right. All right. All right, so... You gotta watch out for drop-in enemies like that, because of course, this is a Konami game. Alright. So, this is where I died last time, so, again, save state. I think it's you hold select and then you press down. That's how you save state. Alright. Far out. Whee! That might have been slightly easier to do if I still had Furball, because Furball can climb the wall after the trap, but it's a very minor thing. Oh, gee whiz. Well, I totally wasn't expecting that. But of course, that's, you know, exactly what they were expecting. They were expecting I wasn't going to expect it. And expecting unexpected. Tiny Toon Adventures is about to start. Alright. So, time to fight the first boss. The skateboarding mad scientist who throws anvils at you. You know, just like a skateboarding mad scientist does. And so now I gotta do the same thing for a load. Up. One more time. Alright. Okay, not a deal breaker. Should I save state here? Okay, I'm going to keep fighting the boss with one life if I save state here. Alright. Ah. They just had to trick you one more time because, once again, Konami game. So probably a bad idea to stay on the sides. I don't think you can hit him while he is on the side of the wall. Okay, just took 3 hits. Okay, so that there is the end of stage 1.
Which is basically this show. Yeah.
Nope, nope. Concord Condor, a character who was based on Beaky Buzzard from the original Looney Tunes.
Well, I better get rolling.
Okay, so this is where Shirley starts giving you suggestions about who to play. And yeah, Plucky Duck in this one. Alright. The Red Seraph, hello, how you doing today? Thank you very much for tuning into the stream. Oi. Immediately, this is what we do here, is that we say hello and then we get hit by quicksand. Alright. Let me go ahead and save again at the start of the level. Nope, nope.
Some streams going earlier too in the morning. My brother and I have talked about doing some.
There were some inspired characters in Tiny Toons. There were also characters in Tiny Toons that were like their counterparts, but a lot louder. And of course, that counts for Concord, but that also counts for Plucky Duck, who's going to be our sidekick in this stage.
Yeah. I gotta go fix my stream element stuff too, because my commands are.
Gosh, those things are murderous.
I'm gonna get out of here.
Alright.
We'll see ya.
I think I'm starting to hear somebody else's stream in the background. I think I accidentally left a, I left Twitch unmuted. and it was still on Mercury Mercury Aiden stream. So we're just listening to his podcast in the background while I'm doing this. Live television happens all the time. This looks like a really interesting way to play this game. Yeah. This is, once again, the 3D SEN emulator, which is actually available on Twitch. I think it's, I have the suspicion it's an emulator that the game companies don't actually like to go after, simply because it's unique enough. But also, you know, creating high-res HD versions is also something that happens a lot in the emulation community. So, I don't know, search me. It's all arbitrary as far as I'm concerned. And so, more important than the fact that Plucky can hover short distances, he can also swim. Which makes him really good to use in this level. Even has a swimming attack. Ouch. Oh gee, where did I save? I think I'm still virtually at the start of the stage. Murderous little hermit crabs. You never had so many problems with hermit crabs. Alright. So there's an energy meter just at the very bottom corner of the screen, which I'm kind of blocking out because I'm using the emulator, but... Alright. Okay, here's where the enemy placement gets problematic, so another save. Alright. Really good to have the hover ability right about here. Alright. So far, so good. Nope. Done. I'm on to the next one. Whoops. Should not have done that. In the way the way that the level is arranged is that the bar has gone slightly down, and now I can't see the power bar I need for Plucky's attack. So, this is where people, you know, who have certain biases, they say, okay, well, you only choose Furball. Furball's the only one who has a useful power. I definitely like to play this water stage here on easy mode. Alright. You know, swimming, using the water jet with anybody other than Plucky, that would have been a nightmare. Alright. Okay. Once again, courtesy save. I gotta watch out about that, and, you know, I should also just try to pause the game between save states as well. Alright. Let's see, where's the top half of this? There we go. I mean, you know, the obvious disadvantage to re-emulating an NES game in 3D is the fact that it's kind of hard to see where that arbitrary ceiling in most NES games is. Alright. Time to dodge the currently politically incorrect character. And of course they put the exit door on the bottom half so you can't always rely on that. Okay. Yee! There we go. Nope, nope. Pirates and junk. Alright. It wouldn't be a Konami game without doors that just lead immediately to the other sections of the level either. We're in a full-blown kitty Castlevania right about now. Ooh, that was a close one. Courtesy save. Alright. It's funny that this entire time that we've been doing this, we haven't seen a Toon around. They really do want you to do this stage with Plucky. Whee! Okay, I don't know what hit me. I think something came out of the barrel and hit me. Okay, well, at any rate. No more having to deal with surprise hits. Alright. We've got a pirate captain boss to deal with here. Ooh, those barrels look really great on this emulator. Ow. You're gonna see me just have a problem getting that one hit in. Okay. Time for me to start sparring with this guy. Alright. Uh-oh. Ah, so close. Need 3 hits. All I need is 3 hits. So the barrel drops from, you know, wherever he decides to leap off screen. You know, I got that going as a clue. Okay. You know, can't take too much time in order to work out the strategies for a 3-hit boss. Nope, nope. On to stage 3. So I believe that this is the wood stage and they want me to use Dizzy on it. Yeah, alright. Thanks for the info, Cheryl. Oh. Well, let's just reload that. Take care not to, tilt the screen too much to the side every time I'm using my save and load states. Alright. So I think they switched apples for carrots in this stage. But they also don't change the icon on the HUD, it still looks like carrots. Ouch. Alright. Say, as I said, this is Konami, I might as well be playing Ninja Gaiden right now. Uh-oh. What did I do to anger that owl so much? That just one single owl. Alright. Woo. Alright. Not this time, my fine feathered friend. Okay. Where does he write? Oh. Spoke too soon. I don't know why the screen tilts every single time I reload my save state. It's just that the emulator itself probably provides multiple ways in order for you to tilt the stage, and holding down the select button might be one of those dozens of ways. Okay. No, there's a surprise bird now. So, Dizzy has ability that needs to be recharged. But it is that, he can tornado spin. Take that, you Sonic the Hedgehog wannabe. Yeah, gotta go copyright free. Alright. Ouch. I should probably be saving somewhere other than the very start of the level. Alright. I like Dizzy's standstill. He's just there. Dizzy is a character I've always had kind of a funny relationship with because, he's based on the Tasmanian Devil. But this was also at a time when the Tasmanian Devil probably had less than 10 cartoons under his belt. So all of a sudden, we're seeing a new updated version of a character that we've barely seen anything about. Follow me, set me free, get me out of the copyright city. I mean, just look at that. There's no way that that wasn't Sonic the Hedgehog. This was a 1991 game, I believe. Supposedly I can get that one carrot if I do a little bit of parkour. Knock out the platform at the top. But who needs to? Whoops. Okay. Gotta be careful with the platforming here. Oh, well, speaking of which. There we go. Okay. After I do the tornado, I can actually hold down the jump button and then use that in order to get across. This is why they want you to use them in this stage, so you can spin attack and then make sure that you're not getting surprise hit by some of the enemies. Okay, there we go. Nope, nope. La 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 la. Dizzy and Forrest, Dizzy say, "Come, me animal friends." And then they all attack Dizzy because they don't like Dizzy very much. Whoops. Random Badum. Alright. So far, so good. Okay, I think I actually need the health points, so... Well, so much for that. I tried. Really tried. Didn't succeed, but I still tried. Dum da da dum da da dum da da da. I'm gonna be safe stating all the way through this level, I can already feel it. Should have actually grabbed that heart. Here, for some reason the screen has gotten away from me. I'll move slightly back here so I can start seeing the health point meter again. Alright. God, they're throwing everything at the kitchen sink at me. This really is a Konami game. I'm turning into Buster so at least I can get some air over those bouncing bees. Ah, maybe it was a mistake. Anyways. Boom, 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 boom. Maybe I'm just subconsciously touching the shoulder buttons. I don't need to play the. I don't need this because to press those buttons because they are. You know, this is an NES game. I only need 6 buttons to play it. So, might be, you know, just so much better to hold on to Dizzy and then just be able to plow through walls. Because there are a lot of walls. Many walls, Ed boys. You dare to besmirch the name of the son of a Tasmanian devil? Alright. And they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming. I think I finally get it. Every time I press, every time I save state, I am also saving the angle that the engine is keeping the game on, so... You know. At the risk of getting hit again. Oh, no. I hit the spin button. I know I hit the spin button. Ooh, that one squirrel just did not give up. Is a squirrel that won't quit. I like that. Alright. You gotta admire that squirrel enemy in an 8-bit game's work acumen. Ow. Okay, there's no other way to do this. I think I'm just going to need to save state every few steps or so. But then there's already so many stuff it's already on the screen trying to actively kill you. Okay, I didn't even see that one coming. Welcome to Konami, where the games are actively trying to kill you. Maybe it was a bad place to save state, I don't know. The hard part about playing as Dizzy is that even though you can break down some of these walls, you actually have to wait until you recharge and then have to tackle a whole bunch of enemies. It's almost like tower defense. This is working a little bit better. So you never mind breaking down the walls, just follow the path of the stage. I shall live longer. Oh. I try to hit him with my attack even though I'd already just used it. You know. They really expect a lot out of this little attack that does like lasts for 2 seconds and then requires 10 seconds to recharge. Uh-oh. Wrong button. That's the pause button with the very familiar Konami sound effect. My god, look at all of that, what's on the screen in that moment. Okay, never mind. Okay, time to start going even slower, baby. Up. Hit the load button instead of the save button. That's where this game has me now. Uh-oh. That thing can hit me multiple times, I have learned. Okay, well. See, that squirrel right there was trying to juke me, right? So pause right here so I can actually keep my level progress. Ah! Alright. Okay, that's a heart. I was almost I could have sworn it was another Toon around. Oops. Well then, there I erased some progress again. Okay, pause right here. And then save here. Okay, I cannot spin through that stump. Okay. Oh, no. I get rid of the bats, but then the bees start coming for me. Me want to get through the forest, but me so dummy thick. And the clapping of me ass cheeks is summoning the bees. Can't help but feel as though there's a little bit of a, there's a little bit of a timbre similar to that of the Castlevania theme in this forest stage now. And of course, you know, I'm being attacked like bats, like this was a game of Vampire Survivors. Beware the enemy spawn. Anywhere there spawn an enemy, beware it. Okay, phew. Think I might be safe. All right. Okay, hit the Toon around. Don't necessarily know if that's a good thing. Still saving though. Okay, made it to the exit. Never been happier to see an exit. Do I have to fight the boss next? No, I have to do Elmira again. Do the Elmira. Run away from a concept that is no longer valid in animated cartoons. You know, I think the idea was pretty inspired at the time. You're trying to make a character who's the female counterpart for Elmer Fudd, and she's actually just a cute girl who likes to hug animals to death. Something that, you know, I think was pretty prominent among the original Looney Tunes as well, but I can well understand why they don't want to do it anymore. Okay. Of course, you know, if you had the ability to oh, I was afraid of doing that. Okay, well, I'm gonna do the Elmira stage again. It's worth getting over it. Getting over it with Elmira Fadi. Also, really, really love this music. Okay, let me make sure I get that save in. This is a Konami game. There is obnoxious enemy placement. Can't imagine why they would drag the sequence out so much. Ah. I doth plummet to my doom. Welcome to a Konami game. We've got Blind Leaps of Faith. Okay, gonna need one of these right here. Whoop, 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 whoop. All right. Oh, drat. Okay. Okay, boss time. I remember this one being a pretty obnoxious one. Is that... yeah. As you have a Lynx falling out of the ceiling, and you have to anticipate where he's going to be so you can hit him at least once. Alright. Say, deal an enemy. Maybe this was a little bit more obvious when it was in 2D. I could actually see the holes where he's capable of dropping out of if I were playing this in 2D. Your guess is as good as mine. You know, at least in these days, they actually made difficult and entertaining three hit bosses. That was good, but I don't want to do it again. Okay, we're getting to our first ad. We'll be right back after this 2-minute word from Twitch. Thank you, everyone, for staying tuned in. This is Brainy the RPG Cat. That's the one for the reel right there. I mean, the thing that I'm most trying to figure out is, what's the safest place to stand? Okay. I also do think that there's a pattern in where he falls, because if the blocks are moving right, then that means he's going to drop out of the top of the ceiling. I'm getting the load time warning. Like, that's something that I'm really concerned about right now. I didn't even try. I should have put a death counter on this game. This would have been a really good game for a death counter. Alright. So this guy doesn't actually surprise you as much as I think they are. There is a very obvious pattern to how he attacks. Okay. There we go. Na 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 na. Nope, nope. Alright. Like, use the control pad and press the A button to decide which character you're gonna play, for sure. Okay. This is the city stage. This is the first one where you legitimately have to be using Furball. Alright. The hard part is not knowing which one of the trash cans the cat is gonna pop out of. Alright. Okay. It's wall climbing cat time. Hey Cheryl, it's dadgum wall climbing cat time. Alright. I thought I was gonna be safe there. Like a dolt. Like a dullard. Maybe the only reason they don't want you to have Furball's ability is so that you can actually hang out on the sides of these blocks instead of in front of them. That's not gonna help you with the first jump, though. Another fine offering by the Konami Corporation of Tokyo, Japan. You know, even trying to time it. I can't win with this dog. I'm a cat who can't win with this dog. Both in-game and in-stream. It's a bad time to be a cat, is all I'm trying to say. Da. Da! Because if I keep going at his rhythm, I'm never going to get across. You know, I don't want to get too hung up on the idea of hanging onto that platform either, because I don't think that's necessarily a good idea. I definitely don't have that dog in me. Oh, I have that dog in me, but unfortunately he's droopy. Hello, all you happy people, you. I'm so happy I can barely contain myself. I don't know if I save that. I try to save that. No, I didn't save state that. Maybe that's actually a good thing. Yep. See, it might be a mistake to do, but I'm still doing it. Yeah. Ah! Okay. Hallelujah! I made it over the cliff. Okay. All right. Say, out of the city and into the junkyard, which is this cat's regular stomping grounds. You think he'd have something in the way of a home turf advantage, but no, I suppose not. You can't be a calamitous character and have a home turf advantage. These things are supposed to be tires, but because of the 3D SEN render, they just kind of looks like stone pillars. There! Okay, time to skip one obstacle and then save on the other obstacle, like I've been doing throughout this entire game. Okay, that was an invincibility flame dash. Drat. Okay, somewhere in the midst of all of that, I actually bashed the cat inside the oil drum. So at least I've got that going for me, which is nice. Okay. So it's a rat like a bat out of hell. Okay, there we go. And at the end of all that, I have to fight another boss. So, oh no, actually, I have to deal with Elmira again. You know, this time, okay. The problem isn't actually Elmira; it's dealing with those very tall platforms right there. Elmira is just the worst case scenario in this one. Oof. This is probably the most I'm going to be caught by her in the entire game. Yikes. Okay, totally not doing that again. Nope, nope. Not doing that again. Nope, nope, nope. No, 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 no. Alright. Alright. We have the Sweetie Bird, the female counterpart to Tweety, as a basic enemy type in this level. But you're supposed to be my friend! You're supposed to be the chosen one! What is it that you thought that you saw in them? What is it that you thought that you saw in them? I thought I saw a putty tip. Alright. Okay, now they're falling up. How do you like that? Okay. Make sure I stay here because I am pretty firmly of the belief that the boss battle is here. Alright. Oh, hey, Donkey Kong. Accidentally take a left turn at Albuquerque? Ouch. This is gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while for me to even basically figure out how to do this boss. Okay, when he lands, he creates an earthquake. And then he sends his children after me. Boing. And so this is one of those survival 3-hit bosses, is that I have to keep him occupied long enough until he actually gives me an opportunity to hop on his head. I don't think I have any idea where the babies are gonna land, though. Okay. I'm gonna watch him for a little bit, see basically what this phase is supposed to be. No, I think he actually wants me to get up there. It's a good thing I'm the highest jumper in the game. Up. Okay, can't stand on this platform. Can't stand on his platform. Oh, even if I land, I can't jump again until the screen stops shaking. Ah, gee, you know, I was actually hoping for you to make this a little hard on me. Okay. Maybe I'm not supposed to jump. Maybe I am just supposed to survive this. It's hard to tell. I mean, if I just had to survive this, I could just stay on this platform and he would never be able to hurt me. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get anywhere near him by jumping. Okay, watch out, folks, because you're gonna see your old buddy Brainy commit massive amounts of infanticide. All I can figure at this point is that I have to clobber the babies. It looks like Donkey Kong, but due to international copyright law, it is not. Yeah, okay. I am pretty sure I can't attack him at all. I have to go after the little children. Oh, you know, something I remember is that I also have a slide attack. Obviously, my slide attack is not going to come to my aid in any meaningful way. Okay. If I actually do damage to his enemies, then eventually the platform that he's standing on is going to fall away. That's what's happening. I mean, having them fall off the cliff, you know, that's not sending them all to your certain doom. I have to make sure that I'm hopping on them. Okay, I don't even know how I got the hitbox on that one. Right on my head. Okay, well, I'm just gonna have to survive this on this platform. Okay. Okay, if I want to save state in the middle of this boss, I have to remember to hit the pause button. Because if I don't hit the pause button, I'm going to press down, and then I'm just going to slide attack to the floor. Alright. It's more of a cheat than I usually want to do, but you forced it out of me, Konami. Drat. Drat. Imagine that there were still kids in the 1980s that actually just did this with like 3 continues. Oh, I should not have done that. Okay, I'm still in the place I was before. Drat. Everybody does it. The one fatal save state too many. Not as bad as some. Sheesh. Well, that took a lot of freaking work. Okay, level 4, we're just arbitrarily bringing in that Star Wars themed episode that happened one time. Hop off the Duck Stormtroopers' heads and then land on the Duck Darth Vader's head. These games feel like they definitely crafted speedrunners. Okay, I'm gonna have to spar this a little bit. Didn't know where to put in this boss battle necessarily. Okay, yeah, he does eventually get lower. I think that's what I'm counting on here. Damned if he doesn't take a long time doing it, though. Okay, I'm gonna try to do this. I'm going to try to just wait for the opportunistic jumps. Try to keep the stormtroopers busy. And it's bad enough that they're just always on the bottom of the screen, but it's also the fact that they will occasionally shoot at you. Stormtroopers, terrible marksmen, even in parody. Oh, that one was a gimme. Drat. I shot my shot. I shoot my shot, and I lost. Welcome to Konami, where this game wasn't hard enough, so we decided to put a boss fight on top of a boss fight, so you can boss fight when you boss fight. Okay, try not to catch him by surprise, because I don't think that's actually going to work. Okay, you can't hit him from a certain height if you try. Okay, well, that was a little bit overzealous of me. Alright. Holy dang, that took a lot. You know, 3 free one-ups for defeating just that one boss. There's an Acme heart power-up. You know, if it's an Acme heart power-up, it would probably explode and then delete all of my lives. Just saying, programmers. Okay, no preference this time. I'm going to stick with Furball then. Okay, we're in Wacky Land. This was also something that, you know, a concept that was in an original Looney Tunes that is just, you know, somewhat beaten arbitrarily to death in Tiny Toons. As the idea of Wacky Land, that there's just this big obscure world of, you know, cartoon characters that make no sense. Okay, for some reason Go-Go is a collectible in this. Go-Go being the name that they gave to the dodo from Wacky Land, which is also something that wasn't necessary. Oh, that thing is frightening. Okay, it's been an incredibly long time since I've seen one of these doors. There is no chance in hell that I have 30 carats by now. Alright. Short part of the level, but, you know, nothing to get too comfortable about. What does the WB stand for? Does it stand for water bucket? Because this guy's a water bucket. Yeah, I feel much more comfortable, you know, if they're gonna throw any goofy platforms at me that I have Furball. Anytime I feel I need to linger on a platform that long, I'm gonna save. The real danger is just up ahead. Waffy Duck, and boy is Daffy pissed about it. Say, Waffy Buck. That is blatant copyright infringement! I'm going to have my lawyers on you, something fierce. You know, that pen was probably going to do something really cool, but... You know, I can't tell whether or not there is actually a reason to be collecting the dodos, but I am collecting the dodos. Okay, I see why those guys are annoying now. Their movement is completely unpredictable. These are all good-looking enemies. I wish that they were in early parts of the stage. Remember what I said earlier about goofy platforms? I don't think the wall climbing ability is really going to help me here. Alright. I'm lucky to have survived that. I don't even know what hit me. The game just felt, you know, I hadn't died enough. Yeah, there's something there. Something that... Oh. I'm out of time. Well, this is gonna be a problem. Maybe there's an outside chance that collecting the dodos is actually adding to my timer. Okay, folks. We're in a hold. We're in a hold. Okay, I'm gonna intentionally lose a life, see if that actually resets the timer. Okay, let me scroll out here slightly. I have 200 seconds now. Okay, so that worked. So, save state here. Alright. Listen, Hampton, I don't care what the parameters are here. You better cough up some extra lives, alright? Or it's going to be baby back ribs time, you know what I'm saying? Funny, I feel as though I've played this section before. But, you know, that is, the, textbook definition of wacky in an NES game. Alright, a second, really quick. As is often in these very long streams, I start to see pop-ups show up from my PC cleaner and my driver updater. I'll make sure that those are both closed now. Alright. Okay, I need to save on that other platform right there. I know I totally whiffed that the moment I landed on the platform instead of the enemy. Still not hearing the music fade out. I mean, this stage is difficult enough. Maybe there isn't even going to be a boss at the end of this. Ah! Mama! Wow. You know, I am experiencing an enormous amount of deja vu. I'm silently hoping that this isn't one of those secret stages that goes on and on until you find a hidden exit. Okay, no, I actually... Okay, it was important that I grabbed all the dodos because if I didn't have them, I'd have to go back and explore other areas. That's what was going on there. Here, I turned into a key! Isn't that silly? That's trying to be like Go-Go, but it sounds a little bit more like Fozzie Bear. Alright, so this is the final stage, I believe. I don't even know if there's a stage attached to it. I think there's just a really difficult boss battle at the end of it. We shall see. Okay, I'm pretty sure this time they're also not going to tell me which sidekick to choose. I think if I want to stay alive, I might want to choose Plucky because I might need to deal with some very precarious platforms. Alright. Yay. I like this effect. This is really cool. Is that, you know, transparent eyeballs in the dark. Of course, I was so busy appreciating the effect. Okay, he throws a nightstick. That's good to know. Hey, Tiny Toon Adventures warning us about the overreach of the long arm of the law since 1991. Okay. Even though I want to avoid running in the dark, I don't think I can do anything about it. Alright. Let's see if I have, you know, make absolutely sure that I have not chosen poorly here. Oh, that's a cheap shot. Oh, and you don't actually defeat the enemies by sliding under them, so, you know... Oh, boy. I don't know how he hit me that time. He nevertheless hit me that time. Drat! Okay, I'm gonna need to save right when I get under that eave. That's the only way that I can do that. You know, welcome to a Konami game where the certainty of death is only a matter of letting your hand go free from the duck button. You know that I am quite invested in the duck button. Say, Plucky, I asked you to be on this stage with me. You're not holding up your part of the bargain. Okay. Drat. You know, this whole section, you know, requires you to have mastery of a skill that you haven't been using this entire time, which is the slide attack. And the enemies respawn, because of course they do. Ugh. That made me feel funny in my feathers. Okay, I don't even recall letting go of the arrow at that time. They're just killing me on principle now. I just want you to feel as though that last jump is as impossible as it looks. Alright, time for our second ad break. Thank you everybody for staying tuned in. During the break, I shall figure out how to not let the game cheat me out of a successful slide attack. Yikes. This actually might have been easier if I stayed with Buster, because I actually think his slide does damage. Ah! Okay. Definitely saving that, because that is never going to happen again, not in a million years. Alright. See. Why would I do that? Why would I trust the platform moving up? I have no idea. I mean, I need to use the platform going up, certainly, but I don't have to trust it. I'm pretty sure that they're supposed to be bombs, but they look like trout to me. Okay, can't jump past the first one.